Plain you, right? Yes or no? Yes, any one of you, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Uh, okay. So these are the difference we had seen, risk and the sys. So now moving forward, I think यहाँ से आप लोगों का थोड़ा last lecture में ये हुआ था, प्रॉब्लम हुआ था, that is the one Neumann architecture and Harvard architecture. In one Neumann architecture, we have seen that it refers to the general framework, that is that of computer hardware programming and data should flow. So this is the major difference. I'm going to show you the video for this at the end of this. Only 2-3 slides are remaining for this previous lecture. So we will start with the video. In that, you will find, I don't know whether the sound will come or not at your side, because the last time the video I had shown you, there was no sound. But here I can able to hear the sound. Afterwards, once the lecture it has been get finished, you can I will upload that video into your class, that is into this team, so you can listen that video. There is nothing, but with the visualization you will come to know what's there exactly he wants to say. If there is no sound, you are able to. It is also okay if you are able to understand that concept. What is the concept of von Neumann
Oh,
architecture
so
and Harvard architecture? Yeah. Hello.
sir, you'll have to check mark a box which says also at system sound when you are sharing your screen. फिर वो sound आएगा.
क्या मुझे बाद में बता सकते हो आप कैसे करना है?
हाँ
बिकॉज वी
ठीक है.
आर मुझे बाद में बता दो कैसे करना है, सो दैट आई कैन ट्राई इट देन. ओके. और इन द ये लेक्चर होने के बाद मुझे बताओगे, आई कैन कॉल यू देन.
Yes, sir.
व्हाट्स योर नेम?
Sir, Ritik.
ओके फाइन, ठीक है, चलेगा ऋतिक, मैं आपको कॉल करता हूँ. जस्ट आपका चैट बॉक्स में आपका नंबर शेयर करो, बिकॉज दिस ऑल्सो कैसे फिर क्या होता है कि दैट वीडियो इज नॉट दैट मच कि आपको उसका एक्सप्लेनेशन, विद द विजुअलाइजेशन यू विल ऑल्सो कम टू नो कि कैसा हो रहा है. बट इन द नेक्स्ट लेक्चर आई विल डेफिनेटली फॉलो द व्हाट द थिंग्स दैट यू आर टेलिंग मी. ओके. क्योंकि आज कैसे थोड़ा मुझे थोड़ा और चौथा भी है, मीन्स नेक्स्ट पीपीडी भी है, फोर्थ वन, that also I need to be get completed. Okay. Just आपका chat box में नंबर ये कर दो, then I will call you definitely
Sir, I
after
cannot
this.
access the chat box.
Sorry.
Attendee.
Okay, then you have my number class group में, तो उसमें आप WhatsApp कर दो मुझे, चलेगा?
हाँ, yes sir.
हाँ ठीक है, thank you, thanks a lot. Because these are the things that you also know. थोड़ा कुछ आपसे भी सीखना पड़ता है. It's not like that कि ऐसे सीखने में कोई ये नहीं है. Thank you. So these are the difference. Then this is the von Neumann architecture and Harvard architecture. These are the nothing but the kind of the digital computer architecture that describes the functionality and implementation of the computer system. Again, I just want to tell you that these are the two architectures that has been mostly used for what, means depend again kind of the application or kind of the system that you are using. Because यहाँ पे क्या होता है, because these both system having different memory structure, components will be the same, that's not an issue, but the architecture will be the same. The component would be the same, sorry, architecture something, it has it having a different, again the storage kind of the memory storage, again it follows some different pattern. So these are the things that is the, that's why these are the differences that we in these two architecture, von Neumann and Harvard. That in von Neumann architecture refers to the general framework that computer hardware programming and data should follow, whereas in Harvard architecture with the physically separate storage. This is the main difference, and the signal pathway for the program and the data instructions. So this is the another main difference between these two. Von Neumann, which again in von Neumann architecture, which employs a single bus of both fetch instruction, that is from memory, and transfer the data from one part of a computer to another. Whereas in Harvard, it has a separate memory space for the data instruction, as it has been mentioned that it is having physically separate storage area, whereas in von Neumann it don't have. So this is the main basic difference of this von Neumann and Harvard architecture. So you should be aware which kind of the system, embedded system, or what kind of the architecture of that embedded system is having. So moving to the next, that is the what are the types of embedded system. So the embedded system can be classified based on the first, that is performance and functional requirement, and second one is the performance of the microcontroller. Obviously these are the main parameters on which we can classify our embedded system. So abhi functional performance and functional requirements mein usme what is the in this that's a very important, or where you can say that whatever the TDS or the time based task that where you can complete based on this, that is the real time first one, then next second one is the time alone standalone, sorry, network and the mobile. So these are the embedded system based on the functional requirements, and the next one is based on the microcontroller, that is the small scale, medium scale and sophisticated. These are the only performance oriented, where as well as in performance as well as functional may where the your times constraint plays a very important role, where the real time operating system it has been used, but based on the performance only, where the normal operating system can be that is okay for performing normal functions. So now one by one we are going to see this. What is the embedded system can be classified into the four type, just I explain you four types based on the performance and functional requirement. The first one is the real time. As I told you in the previous lectures, what is the real time embedded system? Real time embedded system means where the time plays an very constrained roles. Within that duration of the time, your task or the operation should get performed. So here we are having the two types, that is the soft real time and the hard real time. Whereas in the hard real time, I told you the difference we have seen in the first or second lecture only. We have seen the difference between these two, hard real time and soft real time. In hard real time, what? Time plays very important constraints. Within that duration, on the 10-second means on the 10-second operation should get performed. It should not be any microsecond delay also in that. Whereas in soft real time, the delay can be allowed or the manageable. So these are the two main difference. And even I told you the examples of this also, soft and hard real time. The next one is the standalone embedded system. Standalone embedded system means what? Means wherever means this is the only system that has not been in the network, or it is having performing its individual functions only. Means it performs its individual own operation. It does not interrelate with any other devices. So that is the standalone system, where the sensors, with the help of the sensor, it receives the data, it performs its task, and just like a take an example of the home appliances, where with the that performs certain specific tasks only, that perform certain operations, and after performing it, it stops that operation. So that is the nothing but the standalone system. Next one is network embedded system.
Shubham Rajpurohit, please mute your mic.
I muted all from my side.
Very good.
The rest of all are the presenter only. So there is the standalone system. Next one is the network embedded system. Network embedded system means the things that we are used for the that has been system that has been used in the network. Means depend again if suppose once the किसी का output रहेगा वो, that will be the input for the another system. Or if you want to fetch or retrieve the instructions from किसी के एक system से instruction fetch करने, and it has been get executed on the another system, just like a client server client server technology. In that from the client side, the query is get fired, that has been get executed on the server, and it has been get back to the again to the client after executing that query or performing or processing that query. So that is the embedded network embedded system. Next one is the mobile embedded system. Mobile embedded system, as you people, as I told you, mobile is nothing but the kind of an embedded system. These the smartphones, Android systems, these are nothing but a kind of the embedded system only, where we can perform lot many operations. It has having the sensor. The normal, take an example, just you can measure the temperature also. If you find, if you tap on it, if you search that what's the temperature now, obviously it will give the राइट मूवमेंट. अभी के समय का जो भी रहेगा वो टेम्परेचर इट विल गोइंग टू डिस्प्ले. अगेन इट डिस्प्ले द ह्यूमिडिटी आल्सो. इट इज बीन यूज्ड फॉर द वेदर फोरकास्टिंग आल्सो. दीज आर द नथिंग बट द स्मॉल एप्लीकेशंस ऑफ द mobiles. That shows that it is having an, it's a perfect example of an embedded system. Okay, so this is about the mobile phones. And digital cameras are of small size. They have often memory constraints and lack of good user interface. This is one of the major constraints in the mobile embedded system. Memory constraints होता है because जितना भी होगा आपका mobile, that doesn't have that much. It has some limitations of the memory and for the interfacing. Next one is the microcontroller performances, which are those small scale embedded system, medium scale embedded system, and sophisticated embedded system. So small scale embedded system is normally designed for creating the 8-bit microcontroller, whereas the medium scale means this is nothing but the microcontroller performance किस पे होता है, that is obviously on your microprocessor. अब microprocessor किस पे depend होता है, microprocessor again how many bits or how many bytes it is transferring its data through the address bus and through its data bus. So that's the main concern, क्योंकि microcontroller के अंदर ही आपका microprocessor होता है. In the last lecture we have seen the detail about what is the difference between the microcontroller and the microprocessor. Microprocessor is the part of your microcontroller. So please keep this in mind, guys. These are the two totally different terms. Okay. So in small scale we are having the microprocessor of 8-bit. And in the medium scale, we are having the microprocessor of 16 to 32 bit in your microcontroller. And third is the sophisticated, that is the often function on multiple algorithms that results in complexities in both hardware and software. They need a processor that is configurable and logic array that can be programmed. Means what? Sophisticated embedded system mein you need a certain additional circuit, or you can say that is the co-processor that has been get required, so that it can, if suppose any you can say algorithm that means that requires, or there are certain instructions that the memory space is not enough, or it is unable to process that instructions, or it is getting delayed, you can say it takes a time for the processing that instructions. So obviously it needs a supporting processor. So such kind of the systems that comes into the sophisticated embedded system. So these are the three kind of the embedded system based on the microcontroller performances. So medium scale, large scale, medium scale, small scale, and sophisticated. So actually this was the previous lecture जो हम लोगों का, because of the network issue that has been remained incompleted. So that's why what we have studied in this, we have studied the difference between the microprocessor and microcontroller. We have studied the RISC and the CISC along with its respective architecture. Diagram याद है आपको वो, and again the difference also, that is it is the points wise also, and the diagrams also I have shown, that is there in the PPT, and the brief concept of the von Neumann architecture and Harvard architecture. And the last we have just discussed, that is the types of the embedded system, which is the functionality and operational base, and next one is the microcontroller performance base. So these are the things that we have seen. So I just want to show you the video. So let's see, let me know if it is visible or not. I will just stop the sharing right now. So guys, is the screen is visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Is it
sir.
visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Thank you. I will play the video then. I will play it. So there is nothing means it's like the concept. You just visualize the concept. Visual is there, so you will able to understand. And if suppose if still if you are having problem, yeah, I will upload this video in your group in this class, so you can watch it later also, so that your concept will be get clear about the von Neumann and Harvard architecture. So it's just 2-3 minutes video. So just watch this.
Sir, we can't hear the audio from the video.
Yes, what happened? What
We
happened,
can't
student?
hear from the video.
Means
There
you
is
are
no
not
audio.
able. No audio. Oh, audio or video? Video you are able to see.
We are not able to hear the audio.
हाँ तो ऑडियो वही तो प्रॉब्लम है. That's what I am telling you कि ऑडियो का इसमें आप just there is no need of the of audio also, but थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम है मेरी साइड से, so that in the next lecture जब भी रहेगा, so मैं definitely solve करूंगा. Just watch the video. आपको समझ में तो आया नहीं कि what the concept it is. Sorry.
Yes, sir. No problem, no problem.
हाँ तो आपको समझ में आ रहा है ना कंसेप्ट, तो आप देख लो, फिर मैं बाद में अपलोड करने के बाद आपको ऑडियो भी आ जाएगा उसमें. सो जस्ट 2-3 मिनट्स का वीडियो है ये, कुछ बहुत बड़ा वीडियो नहीं है. सो यू विल एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड द कंसेप्ट ऑफ दिस. So guys, so this is about the video. It shows the just difference between these two architectures. So hope you had understand somewhat. But after this, once I upload it, please go through it. And if you're not able to understand any concept, so just ask me. So now we will move with the next topic. Is the screen visible, guys?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Wait.
No, sir.
So is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Thank you. So this is the means what we have seen just now. RISC is von Neumann architecture types of ES. So without wasting time, so now I'm just moving with this characteristics of embedded system. So what are the main characteristics of the embedded system? So which are those? The first one is the task specific. Next one is the time specific, minimal user interface, high efficiency, high reliability, highly stable, requires less power and low cost. So we are seeing one by one. Task specific means just now means many of the applications that has been used only for the specific purpose. So means what? This microcontroller had been designed for only performing that specific task. Just now take an example of the nowadays it is been available smart toys also. There is a car, you can say that car that has been remotely we can use, or we can play that remote car where you can handle, or where the controls is in your hands, and it has been obviously it move. It is the wired or the wireless, both the options that has been available nowadays for that car. आप लोगों को पता ही होगा, many people you have seen, means that controls that is in our hands, and you can move that car as per your convenience, and even as per that you can manage the speed also, where to stop, how to handle its obstacles and all. So this is the one of the example. That means there is a specific purpose. So it has been used for only that purpose. Even in the home appliances also, that has been used for the only for that purpose only. It is not for the general purpose. It cannot be used for the multiple purposes. Only for that specific operation, it has to perform that task. That is the task specific. Next one is the time specific. Again, the time specific means what? In the most of the home appliances, in the take an example of an washing machine. Before dropping the clothes into the machine, after dropping the clothes in the machine, you need to set only the timer. Once the timer it has been get set, what? Machine will automatically perform its all operations, means including its how much amount of water it required, how much amount of detergent it will require, how much amount time it takes for the washing, then for the draining, and then after the and for the drying also, that is the spinning in the last operation. So if you set it for the 45 minutes, in the 45 minutes duration it will perform all these tasks. So that is the time specific. Within the duration of time, your clothes will be get washed and dried also, okay, with the help of the dryer. So this is the time specific. Next one is the minimal user interface. Minimal user means you don't require that much of a fully the minimal user interface. यहाँ पे भी example है, fully automatic washing machine works on its own after the program is set and stop the once the task is over. So that is the minimal user interface. Only one you need to set, rest of the things it will perform automatically. Next is the highly efficiency. Built to achieve a certain efficiency level high, they are small size, they can work with the less power, and that is not that much expensive because of the highly stable, required less power and the low cost. So that's why it is very much efficient. Next one is the highly reliable. Reliable means cannot be changed or upgraded by the user. They must rank on high reliability and stability. They are accepted to function for long duration without the user experiences any difficulty. Means it is very much reliable, means and stable. There is no need to worry about the once it has been started functioning. So if it is programmed properly, if the timer is set and all the functions will perform, or it will perform its task on its own. So that's why it is again the reliability and the stability is very good. Next one is designing. That is the highly stable microcontroller. MIT is used to design the embedded system. The embedded system need to connect the peripheral to attach the input and output device. So all these things, and the last is the hardware of the embedded system is used for the security and the performance. So these are the software. The software is used for this feature. So these are the main characteristics. Apart from this, it is having the requires the less powers. Then again, because of the less power consumption and all, because mostly of these microcontrollers and these things are work on your batteries. So obviously for the battery also you can use the natural resources like the sun for charging the battery. So such kind of the things are available, so that's why it requires the less power. As the less power is consumption, uska circuit bhi small hai. So because of these things, it makes its cost is very low. So, and again, the security is also one of its major characteristics, security and performance, obviously. That is also one of the major concern, and for that making it secured means, if suppose take an example, in the mobile also we are having this small kind of embedded system, so where we can use the any number or some patterns, design pattern to secure our mobile. This is just small example, just I am telling you. So these are the things. Then what are the quality attributes of an embedded system? In quality of attributes, we are having the operational. This is the diagram, just the tree structure representation, quality attributes for an embedded system, where you are having the operations and the non-operationals. Where in the operationals we are having the response, throughput, reliability, maintainability, security, and safety. So these are the parameters for the operational quality attributes. Whereas in non-operational, we are having the testing, debugging. If you observe these the two. In operational, we do have these parameters are related with its functionality, whereas these parameters are not related with its functionality. It's on the performance base, that is in non-operational. So which are those? Testability and debug ability, evolvability, portability, time to prototype and market, and per unit and total cost. So we are going to see one by one. What are the operational quality attributes? Operational means a related operation or the function. Just now I told you, function of an embedded system. The way an embedded system operates affects its overall quality. Whereas in non-operational, is not related to the function. It is related to your what kind of the operations they are performing, and that obviously non-operational quality attributes affects its overall quality. So this is the main basic difference between these two. Now we are going to see operations, response time. You know, what is the response? Within how much duration you are getting back the response or the throughput what we are getting. Response is the measure of quickness of the system. Then the throughput deals with the efficiency of the system. Jitne jaldi response aayega, obviously the throughput of the system, that increase the efficiency of your system. So these are the two. Response and throughput are the interrelated terms. Next one is the reliability. Again, reliability is the measure of how much percentage you are rely upon the proper functioning of the system. Means आपको कितना, means how much you can rely on the system. No, my system is 100% working. My system never gives an error. So again, this kind of the thing, that is the reliability. The next one is the maintainability. It support with the maintenance to the end user or a client in case of technical issues and product failure, or on the basis of a routine system checkup. Maintainability means obviously you need to do the maintenance, or kitna maintenance की जरूरत है उसे, means how much kind of the maintenance does it require weekly maintenance, then does it require monthly maintenance, or there are the certain system it requires the daily maintenance also. So that is again the comes under the maintainability, that how much cost you are giving for the maintenance purpose. So that's the three major operational attributes for this. And the last one is the safety. So ये maintainability में there are the two types I classify, that is the scheduled or the periodic. जैसे आप लोगों को server का पता है, most of the servers nowadays automatically it gets started doing the backups. Even the example of the लोगों को WhatsApp chat होगा, तो WhatsApp chat का भी backup, if you have set it the backup, there is a time it has been asked at what time you required the backup messages. So on that time it will start taking the backup. So वैसे ही server में भी आजकल there are a lot of servers, cloud server जो भी है, they start their functioning backup functioning automatically. So this is so it can be scheduled or periodic, and maintenance to unexpected failure. This is again one of the things, means we are not expecting the sudden failure हो गया, तो in such case what will happen? जैसे इसका example दिया है, maintenance to unexpected, that is the air conditioner not powering on, printer not taking the paper in the spite of a full paper stack, meaning print. So this is the kind of the example they had mentioned. And last one is the safety. Safety deals with the possible damage that can happen to the operating person and environment. due to breakdown of an embedded system or due to the emissions of hazardous materials from the embedded product. It might be happen certain times such kind of the unwanted things it get happened, and how much it is damaging to our environment as well as the human. Just take an example of the air conditioner. If the compressor goes in the damage, so obviously the emission of the gas from the air conditioner रेफ्रिजरेटर्स उसके जो ये होते हैं कंप्रेसर्स जो होते हैं, so that if it get damaged, obviously उसमें से जो गैस लीकेज होता है, so it's very hazardous to your environment. So such kind of the safety measures also we need to consider. That comes into your operational quality. And in a non-operational, we are having the testability and debug. These are the things about the non-operational. It deals with how easily one can test his or design application by mean for what he or she has been designed. Obviously, testing का पता है आप लोगों को. What is the main purpose of the testing? Testing means whether we are going, what the inputs we are giving, whether as per that input it is producing the output in the proper way. जैसे 1 + 1 किया तो 2 आना चाहिए. The simple addition example मैंने लिया. So obviously for that the testing is very much important for each and every product. The testing is very necessary so that we come to know where we are lagging behind or whether we are going in the right direction. So that is the testing and debug ability. Even the program आप लोग जो करते हो, whenever you are performing the program, जब आप compile करते हो, compile होने के बाद क्या होता है आपका, you will come to know whether it is right, it is corrected, executed, or it is we had missed something or it is their error. So that is the example of testing. That evolvability means refers to ease with which embedded product can be modified to take the advantage of new firmware or the hardware technology. Evolvability means how easily you can change the things if the existing things are there by adding certain new features. So that is the evolvability, the concept. There is one means versions. Take an example of any software. There are the certain versions it comes. Means what? वो पूरा नया का नया सॉफ्टवेयर नहीं आता है. Only the thing is that you are adding certain additional features to it. So that's the example of evolvability. Then portability, system independence. So again, no need to tell me differently such things. What is the portability? Then time to prototype and market. That is, time to market means the time elapsed between the conceptualization of the product and the time at which the product is ready for selling to use. Time to prototype and market means if the product is completely ready, it will help, means it will decide when to launch the product and how to launch the product as per its testing. It means what are the other parameters that we have seen, and the per unit and the total cost. How much total cost for that you are means you can say how much total cost that you had decided for selling that product. So again, that is again it comes in that in, but the costing means how much cost depend again what kind of the components that you are using, what much the cost, how much power consumption. ये सब पूरा जितने भी components मिला के whenever you develop any product. So again, that is one of the important concept. How much cost if you are selling. So what will be the price of that product. So these are the attributes that has been for the non-operational. And these are the applications. I think applications I told you in the previous lectures also what are the applications where it has been mostly used. I will just name it out only. That is the consumer electronics. Nowadays it has been mostly used. And household appliances, medical equipments, in automobiles, industrial applications. Then in the aerospace also. Then in the communication, that is the router, satellite phones. These are the examples for the communication. I think I discussed all these things in the previous lectures, and even in the lab also nowadays. Means now those who attended the labs, there are also the applications mostly that has been used in the IoT. Iska application, embedded system ka application is nothing but you're the Internet of the things. With the help of the Internet, you can connect all these things and make the things smarter. Then these are the advantages and the disadvantages of the embedded system. Just go through it. Advantages, that is low cost, small size, high reliability, fast operation, easy to manufacture, and fewer interconnections, less circuits, compact circuit रहता है, less wires, And because of the PCB also, that is one of the advantages. Because of the PCB, you no need to do the wired things. उसको wire लगाने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है. In the PCB, once you design the circuit, automatically वो पूरा connected हो जाता है. That is the concept आता है उसमें SOC का, system on chip. Designing पूरा आपका वहीं पे हो जाता है. Next, the disadvantage क्या है अब इसके? What are the disadvantage? Hard to maintain, doesn't evolve with the technology improvement. Hard to carry files from one machine to another. Again, the thing is that once you the coded, it has been embedded रहता है, means inbuilt इसका programming and the coding रहता है. So you cannot remove it from the memory. It is difficult to remove in the memory, from the memory. And last is the hard to back up the embedded files. Because of this, you cannot remove the contents from the memory. So it is very hard to take the backup of such things. So these are the disadvantages of this embedded system. So these are the outcomes for this one slide. That is we have studied the characteristics, quality attributes, application, advantage and disadvantage of embedded system that plays a vital role in many devices, equipments, instruments and home appliances, and is likely to continue recent in the future. All these things will be, obviously this will help as the technology progresses. All these things are become very much easier with the help of the embedded system. A lot of work, research work, it has been going on. So these are the things that we had studied, and again this topic is, as we are going with the first module with, so we are covering the CO1, that is the basic concepts of embedded system and core elements. So this is for the today's lecture. So this is from my end, and thank you for listening patiently. So that's all from my side. So if you're having any doubt, you can ask me. Is there any doubt, students?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, fine.
No,
Okay,
sir.
fine. Okay, fine. I will stop the recording now.